Yo, what's up, guys? Earl DFS coming back with another NHL video, and this will be the last one until the 27th. We have All-Star Week coming up, so there will be no games, obviously, during that time. So this will be my last video till the 27th. So let's hop right into it. We have a small 2-game slate before the league goes to the All-Star break. But let's break down last night's slate a little bit. Let's take a look at the first place lineup. Sebastian Aho he had, looks like 2 from the power play unit of Aho and Spezhnikov. He had 3 from New York Rangers 1, which they only scored 2 goals, but he had both the hits there and 2 assists from Mika with the 5-shot bonus. Hit it on the nails there. New York Rangers 1, Carolina power play 2, with his one-off being it was a 3-3, my bad. Aho, Teravainen, Spezhnikov, the power play stack with the Buchnevich, Mika, and Sabanejad and Kreider, with Schmidt and Slavin as defenders. Nice little games from them, 11.5 and 16.2. And Brian Elliott, 2% owned, got the shutout and the win, 19 saves, 23.3. The highest scoring goalie was Thomas Greiss, actually, last night, but he had the Rangers 1 stack, so that obviously he did not get to Greiss there. Taking a look at my best lineup, I finished in second place yesterday in the Minimax, taking home a $250 prize. I had just like the top guy, I had Sabanejad, Buchnevich, and Kreider at the New York Rangers 1 stack, with the 2 being from Florida 3, actually, with Frank Vatrano and Mike Hoffman. I had the Vatrano hat trick as they won 4-3 against the Blackhawks. 2 assists from Hoffman. I got 3 goals, 3 shots on goal. So all 3 of his shots, all were goals. Hat trick, block shot. And then I had 2 Rangers defenders with Adam Fox and Jacob Trouba. 6 shots on goal for Trouba. That was nice. And then my goalie was Halak. He got the win. He got 27 saves. He allowed 2 goals, but got an assist. If any of you noticed that, my goalie got an assist last night, which actually propelled me. I would have been in 9th if he didn't, which Thomas Greiss is probably that guy. But definitely a fun night last night. I definitely needed that second place finish because none of my other lineups were doing anything, because I got alert. I never got the alert, and I'm trying to find a lineup with him in it. Never got the alert, and when I did notice that he was out, it was about a minute before lock, so I had about, let's go all the way down here. It's guaranteed I had him down here. Yeah, I had about 20-something% of Panarin. That was not fun. So I definitely needed that top lineup, unless I wouldn't have made much money at all last night. I would have lost. But it ended up being a nice night, taking second place. So let's hop right into today's slate. We got a super long 2-game slate in store for you today, with a couple of teams that are favorites and one team I think you should be playing all their lines if possible. That's not Wild, but they're not. The Wild are not actually they're not the top line for me tonight. Sorry about that. All right, hopping right into it. Columbus Blue Jackets and the Winnipeg Jets. 3.1 for Columbus, 2.4 for the Jets. Brossots. It's not Hellebuck in goal for the Winnipeg Jets there. And Elvis Merklin. I'm still learning to pronounce these guys' names. For the Blue Jackets, sorry, my phone keeps going off. My top stack of the night is this Winnipeg Jets 1 line. I like the power play correlation as well. If you want, you can even throw Blake Wheeler in there. Even though they're not they're not favorites at all. They have a low total. I think that line it's projected the best of the night. It's projected at about 29 points, which no line even hits 26 after that. So it's projected to be the best line of the night. I know it may look ugly with that 2.4 total, but it's something to definitely look at. Winnipeg 2 as well. I'm getting to a little bit of them. I'm only running 10 lines tonight, and I have 3 Winnipeg lines that I get at least 7% of. And I also did the third line because they're cheap, and so because they're cheap, and that's the way they could be a nice filler stack there. On the Blue Jackets side, I actually like a lot more from this matchup for the Blue Jackets. My favorite line for them is the second line. Second line there, and their power play, and their second power play is also their second power play. But yeah, I like this Bemstrom, Wannabe, and Wannenberg, my bad, and Atkinson, and it's all this. And then you can partner that with Seth Jones, which I think is my highest owned defenseman of the night. Yeah, 67% Seth Jones. So that's definitely something to look at. And it's pretty affordable. You can partner all these guys up. Now pick a goalie. For me, I'm just going to throw Dubnyk in there just for example. And then just like that, you have $7K per player. A full Columbus stack can allow you to get pretty nice when it comes to a stack around it. You can go the top, you can do a 2 from Minnesota, and then you can throw a expensive lineman in there. But then also leaves you $4,400 on the table. If that's the way you want to play, that could be very contrarian. But not something I'll crazily recommend. I'm also getting about 5% of this Nyquist, Dubois, and Jorkestron line. But nothing too crazy on that. So basically, to sum it up, I know it's terrible. I have all 3 lines for them, and I got this line and then power play 2 for them. So that's just about it. For goalies, I'll even show you my goalie exposure. I'm getting about 75% Dubnyk. So not much from this game. The other 25% are the 2 goalies from this game. I'm not getting any of Red Wings. I just don't trust Jimmy Howard and the Red Wings to actually get a win against the Wild as a 1.5 favorite. Underdog. Major underdog. So that's why I have Dubnyk in there. He's the highest chance to get a win. So that's the way I usually like to play my goalies is combination of their price, who they're playing, and how favored are they. Generally, I go for the more favored goalies at like the mid 7K range, but Dubnyk is definitely an option here. As for the next game, the final game of the slate, and a super long slate, Detroit Red Wings, Minnesota Wild, 3.8 for the Wild, 2.3 for the Wings. Jimmy Howard in goal for Detroit and Dubnyk for Minnesota. Plain and simple. If you so want to, which actually I got to about 10% of this line. You really want to, that's all you need from Detroit. Anything below them, forget it. Just not worth it. Not really much for defenseman either. Maybe Phillip. But not really much you want to do with this Detroit team. I think even on a 4-team, 2-game slate, I'm only playing one line from them. And I was half tempted to just cross them out entirely. But you got to have a little bit of exposure, I guess. If you're running 150 lineups, get a little bit of exposure to them because if they do something, you don't want to completely shut them out, but keep it to a minimum. Their lowest total of the night. They're on the road. They suck. Dubnyk's a pretty decent goalie, so I would not recommend going much to Detroit here. For the Minnesota side, though, I'm getting to basically all three lines. I'm getting about 10% Minnesota 1 as a full stack. Because I also like their correlation with the power play. They're on the power play unit. They're only 17.5, so nothing crazy there. Zucker, Donato, and Fiala. I like the correlation there with the second power play unit, which you can easily throw Broden and Dumba in there, and Dubnyk. I know it's a complete full stack, but now you have 6,200 per player to work with. This is going to be a night where it's actually really easy. The pricing is kind of soft. So, and also with the top line, you can do that. You still have 4,400 per player, where you can run a 2 from another team. So you can run a 2 from Columbus. You can even run those 2 and have enough money for like a Patrick Lane. So Minnesota will allow you to do a lot too with those lineups. So that should be something to look at. And definitely, if you are playing one lineup, Minnesota, I think it's the way to go tonight. Pick your line that you like the best and go with it. Winnipeg is also looking halfway decent. But to sum it up, my favorite stacks of the night: Winnipeg 1, Columbus 2, Columbus power play 2, which is the same thing. And that's just about it. My favorite goalies: Dubnyk, then Elvis, then Brissot. I'm not getting any Jimmy Howard. But that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video on the 27th. Enjoy the All-Star break. Thank you guys for watching.